At a time when technology giants dominated the market and the world of cell phones seemed impossible to conquer, a man dared to challenge everything. Lao Jun, an unknown visionary for many, founded Xiaomi and turned a simple startup into one of the largest powers in the smartphone industry. While Apple may have started the smartphone revolution, it was Xiaomi that brought innovation, accessibility, and cutting-edge technology to millions of people around the world. But as a man without billionaire inheritance, without an empire behind, and without initial assets, have you been able to create a business that is worth dozens of billions of dollars today? How did he go out of scratch and turn the game against the giants of technology? This is not just a success story, it is a story of boldness, challenges, and overcoming. Get ready, because today we are going to dive into the impressive journey of Lao Jun and find out how he built Xiaomi from the absolute zero until he became a global empire. Our history begins in 1969, when Lai Jun was born in the Chinese city of Xianantao. In fact, Lai's life was never easy. In his case, there is enough material for a book to be published in cases of pain and suffering. Growing up near Wuhan's industrial metropolis, he has experienced difficult times for most of his childhood days. After the Cultural Revolution, teaching became a dishonored profession, and their parents were teachers. His father earned $7 a month, and even with that, he still supported Lai's interest in electronics as a boy. Since his childhood, Lai liked to dismantle and reassemble radios. Using 2 batteries, a lamp and its own wooden box, some cables and other materials, he created the first electric lamp in his community. In addition, he left the Mianyang Middle School in 1987 and enrolled at the University of Wuhan, where he graduated in computer science in 1991. His main objective was to use his education to serve the world after graduation. In fact, he was intrigued by Steve Jobs' work as an undergraduate student and motivated by the founder of Apple. Then he planned to launch his own company and finish college quickly so that he could focus only on her. This signaled the beginning of Lai's journey and a change in the smartphone industry. Lao, which happens to be a great businessman, or surpass the challenges without hesitates and perform that most people would find it difficult. He soon started working for Chinese software business Kingsoft. After graduating in 1992, he was employed there as an engineer. He quickly went up to the company's CEO, thanks to his competence and tenacity, and in 2007, he guided the business towards an IPO on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Throughout his job in Kingsoft, Lao established the online Joyo.com bookstore in 2000, and in 2004, he later sold the business to Amazon.com for $75 million. Earlier this decade, the Lao also made investments in UC and 2 profitable beginner companies. He also got a total of 70 rounds of investment for his business. He finally left the software company after 16 years as CEO for security reasons, and later returned to Kingsoft as vice president. After a few days, he made his investment in UC Web and Vonciel.com. So Lao was appointed president of UC Web. As you should know, Alibaba currently has over 500 million active users using the UC browser. Finally, Lai Jun thought of introducing new mobile technology because he wanted a part of the rapidly expanding smartphone market. He continued to follow his passion and finally established a company that would forever change the world of mobile technology. Xiaomi Corporation, a $50 billion company with less than 10 years of operation, is listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. The company's history is interesting, full of many ups and downs. In 2010, Xiaomi was founded by former Kingsoft CEO Lai Jun. At that time, the smartphone industry was at a decreasing rate. The main manufacturers like Samsung and Apple were gaining market share as the consolidated sector. But leaders of all time like Nokia and BlackBerry were getting into oblivion. However, within 3 years after its founding, Xiaomi went from a brand that no one had ever heard of China's largest smartphone brand until 2013. At that time, everyone believed the smartphone war was over. This business strives to offer great quality at competitive prices. To provide more features and better user interface than Android, MIUI was created. There are currently 291.6 million of active users of the company Xiaomi. The business strategy was often called copied. Meanwhile, Xiaomi states that he adheres to other standards. Although he was considered successful by society at age 40, He felt that he had not yet fulfilled his long-time goal to found a Chinese corporation. With international appeal and respect, he intended to build a business that could compete with Sony and Apple, two known international companies. To compete in what was the fastest-growing market, he founded Xiaomi along with 13 other employees. Its first target market was the smartphone industry. In addition, he was able to identify a challenge that the sector faces he can address. At that time, companies known as Apple and Samsung dominated the market. However, these companies now sell very expensive tip phones. And at the other end of the spectrum, China has a large number of imitation companies that sell cheap subparters. No one was really meeting market needs. Consequently, their plan was to produce a smartphone using the same supplier and component that the main brands make, but sell it for much less money. But what is fascinating is that they started building a potential customer base instead of making the phone immediately, as they knew that without the distribution network, the component supplier may not even want to provide. Xiaomi Chan, a Hong Kong billionaire, generously funded Law. Chan was in charge of Hang Lung Properties, which supported Morningside Ventures and for many years was a consistent investor in the law of the law. On August 16, 2010, Xiaomi formally presented MIUI, its Android-based operating system. Since Google is not officially available on the market, Android phones in China are not running the official Google Android operating system. And in 2010, the versions of Android in China have not yet been very well refined. Therefore, the team has developed an operating system for Android phones in the market in China. Xiaomi has developed MIUI, its own version of Android. From this user base, he gained millions of users in the first year, becoming an immediate success. In August 2011, Xiaomi launched its first phone, the Xiaomi phone, exclusively online. Very impressive for a new business. Today, Xiaomi is a Chinese company that focuses mainly on the development of smartphones, as well as offering laptops, mobile applications, mobile accessories, wearables, appliances, and smart household devices. But in the first MIUI ROM was developed exclusively by a software business using Google's Android operating system. As the MI one was favorably received, the second iteration of the smartphone had more advanced functions. Over time, MIUI became a great success and was adapted to other English and Chinese devices. MIUI can be downloaded and installed in more than 200 devices. From 2014, even non-developers can quickly install MIUI on their phones using the MIUI Express APK. More than 30 million people worldwide were using Xiaomi's MIUI in late 2013. Phone Mi 2 was first revealed in 2012, and a year later the company announced that more than 10 million of them had been sold in less time. Hugo Barra was hired by the company in August 2013 by Google, where he was Vice President of Product Management of the Android platform. Barr has focused on helping Xiaomi's global expansion. In addition, Xiaomi introduced Mi 3 in late 2013, and the company was classified as the 6th most popular smartphone brand in China. The business eventually managed to snatch the technological market in nations such as the United Kingdom, Australia, and many others. With the help of Mobicity, the business debuted its smart TV line in 2013. 2014 saw the announcement of an expansion outside China, with Singapore as the initial destination. The business intended to join the Malaysian market within 2 months, a remarkable achievement for a small company, as Xiaomi was listed as the 4th largest mobile retail in the world. A year later, in 2016, Xiaomi presented smartphone Mi 5 and, thanks to its collaboration, Xiaomi's mobile devices were formally accessible in the European Union. In September of the same year, the first EU store premiered in Athens in 2017. Cooperation between Xiaomi and 3 Telecommunications was announced in 2018 to sell smartphones in the United Kingdom, Denmark, Ireland, Austria, and Sweden. In mid-2019, the business revealed the Xiaomi Mi 9 phone, which incorporates a fingerprint scanner on its screen. In addition, their phones have become the best-selling items on commerce sites such as Taobao and JD.com. But as a result of their popularity, there is now an increase in competition when Chinese companies have begun to imitate the Xiaomi strategy. In 2015, Xiaomi saw its first drop in sales, while novice companies like Oppo and Vivo took first place. For Xiaomi, this was a crucial turning point that led to a return to the company's main skills. Its emphasis is more in the production of high-quality technology that is superior and innovative. Currently, among all Chinese IT companies, Xiaomi has one of the largest numbers of patents on intellectual property. Currently, it is one of the top 5 mobile phones manufacturers. Today, Xiaomi has a strong presence in China, Malaysia, India, Philippines, and Brazil, and has a family of 8,000 people and more than $2 billion in annual revenue. At the time of the manufacture of this video, Xiaomi has invested in 20 startups and has ambitions to support the expansion of over 100 companies. Rattan, Tata, Global STD, Qualcomm Ventures, and Temasek Holdings are some of the well-known investors. In 6 rounds of investment, Xiaomi raised a total of $45 billion. In the end, it is worth knowing the story of Xiaomi because it is intriguing. But what do you think of their rise to prominence and their technology compared to others? We would love to know your thoughts in the comments. Do not forget to like and subscribe to this channel. I see you in our next video.